The decision to streamline ministries is part of a broader plan to enhance public service delivery and cut government operational costs. This move, formalized through an executive instrument issued on January 9, 2025, reflects President Mahama's campaign pledge to create a lean, result-oriented government. The announcement coincided with the naming of key ministerial nominees for the Finance, Justice and Attorney General and Energy Ministries. Speaking on City FM and ChannelOne News Current Affairs program The Big Issue, Dr. Theo Achampon encouraged the President to prioritize efficiency by dismissing ineffective appointees.
The signaling really reducing from 30 to 23 ministries, I think the signaling is positive and that must be commended. But beyond that, when the appointments are confirmed and in Parliament, it just comes down to the interministerial coordination and collaboration. The President should not be scared or afraid to fire ministers that don't deliver, right? The mandate that will be given them should be clear. They should have their KPIs, whether they sign a contract or not, but whatever it is, they need to be held highly to the ability to deliver on their mandate. And I'm expecting that if some are not delivering, if some are caught up in scandals, they should be fired. The NDC does not have the luxury of, playing around.
Vincent Asifwa, Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, also urged President Mahama not to limit himself when making ministerial appointments necessary to meet the needs of the various ministries.
Ministry of Transport and Roads and Highways should have also been brought together, especially because if you look at the promise that they gave to the Ghanaian people that they are going to appoint 60 ministers. I don't know if some ministries are not going to have deputies. There are some ministries like
that's really tight,
like Ministry of Finance. But the NDC, Mahama, should not be so much boxed into the fact that they promised Ghanaian people have to give 60 ministers, or for that matter,
but you come after them if it doesn't.
Is it really about us?
No, but
is it about the country?
Yes, but
because you see,
it's made a promise. He must stick to it.
If my brother will be very honest with the conversation, two ministries, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Finance, to have just one deputy minister.
The Ministry of Education.
It's not easy.
Meanwhile, Edward Barr, former Member of Parliament for Bongo constituency, reiterated that President Mahama remains committed to his promise of appointing no more than 60 ministers.
Sometimes we create an impression as if ministers and deputy ministers are actually the people who are the technocrats. No, they are not. If you even, let's take Ministry of Energy, if you have one deputy, usually we used to, under the NDC, the previous NDC, you had one for petroleum and one for power. But if you have one deputy and his job, and you have the sectors and properly, the sectors working properly, you will not necessarily need to have two deputies doing all these sort of things, because there will be people within the sectors who will do, whether it is ECG, whether it is, what do you call it, GNPC, what have you. So that is one aspect. Look, I can tell you, post the elections, His Excellency has indicated very clearly that he is not going to go beyond the 60. So he will stick to the 60. Two. In fact, I mean, our brothers promised 50, am I right? They did 50 and we did 60.
But promised 50.
Basically, I think that let's start with the 60 and see. Because there are countries that have bigger economies than us, and they are doing less numbers.
Their institutions work.
Yeah, the institutions work. So what we should be more interested in is how do we build the institutions?